RawBrahs, this is Govan here. I'm making a video response to your most recent vlog. I love your vlogs. I catch a few of them here and there. And I noticed at the end of this one, there was something I wanted to comment on. And by no means am I trying to say I'm an expert on this. I just wanted to offer my thoughts on this matter. It's more directed at T-Mango, Timothy, who is at the end of the video showing a very intimate moment, you could say, with him and his connection with Steph, one of the Raw sisters. And yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on this. You don't need to take it as truth. There's definitely a lot of differences in people's opinions on this, and also people's preferences when it comes to relational dynamics, or dynamics between people that are wanting to have some sort of connection that's more than just friends. Number one thing I want to say is, again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm putting it out here like this just so other people can see this and perhaps get some perspective on it. If you guys don't approve this for a video response for some reason, or maybe you don't like that on your channel, then I'll just simply stick the link below. But otherwise, you can see this as a video response for those of you who are my subscribers, and you can go watch their vlog. The whole vlog was interesting. It's a good thing to watch, I'd say. But the part I'm addressing is just the end bit with the thing between Timothy and Steph. So Steph was upfront and honest about certain things she had been thinking and holding on to as of recent. I believe you guys are in Peru right now, and that's something that was coming up just from your daily interactions. And she was saying that she's not attracted to you in that moment. The place where I think you, Timothy, were faltered, and by no means your emotional reaction to the situation is completely valid, but I think when we have any kind of reaction, we should look at what's at the root cause of that, if it's something that we don't want to have as a feeling. So you even said you don't like the feeling of being hurt, but you're willing to feel that. That's really healthy that you're willing to feel that, but if we look at what's causing that reaction in you, at least in my opinion, it would, if it was in myself, it would come from a desire to have that person see you in a certain way, because as you say it, you're interested in her too, in a more than friendship type way. So, speaking candidly about women, and we're talking about heterosexuality or bisexual women who are interested in men, there just is a tendency for certain ways in which they become attracted to men. And the few mistakes I'm seeing here is that, number one, her emotional state is actually affecting yours. So if you're a strong, confident male, no matter what state she's going to be in, it should not affect you. And this goes for any guy out there that's interested in women in general. So if you have someone you're interested in, or you're in a relationship, or you have a wife, the more you can be unmoving and stoic in your stance, and I don't mean suppressing emotions and that sort of thing, but legitimately not feeling her emotional waves shifting you. What women are attracted to, generally speaking, again, attraction is very varied, but we're talking in general terms here, is the masculine quality, which is strong and unmoving. And women change. They're, at least, again, speaking of the average woman, there's going to be these changing tides in her, because the feminine can be associated with water, change, and somewhat unruly unpredictability. That's not a bad thing, that's just a factor that comes along with that. And as a male, if you want to be the opposite attracting force to that femininity, you have to basically not give a shit what state they're in. Obviously, if a woman is completely giving you the walls time and time again, then there's not a connection there and you have to move on. But to allow her fluctuations to affect you and cause a reaction in you that makes you withdrawn and pull back, that's just going to deepen the divide. You even said at one point, and I've just got the video up here, so I've been going back and forth checking little bits, I question my own self-value when you hear this. So that's a sign that that is going on in you, and you want to develop almost a perspective, and this is by no means misogynistic, but a perspective that all the women in the world are interested in you. So any one woman doesn't matter to you. That doesn't mean you don't care for someone you're with and that you give them your full direct attention when you're with them, and that you appreciate them and want to spend a long time with them if they're a good fit. But it does mean that your personal opinion of yourself is not based on any one person, because you know at a core deep level that you have the capacity to be attractive to many women. And that in and of itself is attractive to most women because it shows strength, it shows leadership, and it shows an ability to be able to handle them when they're at their most vulnerable or most weak or their most off, because you're stable and rooted in that masculine quality. Another thing I think you might have misinterpreted in Steph is the wording that she was choosing, and you were overlaying your own perspective and meaning of certain words that she was using. So you were using physically attractive. So in this moment, you're not physically attractive to me, and she said yes. That doesn't mean she's not physically attracted to you. That means she's not feeling a sexual connection to you. Because women's attraction is based on more than just physicalness. So I can almost see this going on in your mind, and this might not be true. This is just my guess and my perception of what I'm seeing on the screen. I'm a third-party observer. It's not as objective as if I was there in person or knew you better. But what I'm possibly seeing is that you have this idea that, because you're a male and your attraction to someone is based largely on physical appearance. Not to say it's only that, but for men that tends to be what occurs, and for women, their attraction is based on much more than just physical appearance, but physical appearance is in there, but it tends to not be as heavily weighted as other qualities like power, confidence, humor, etc. So her saying, I'm not physically attracted to you, can mean more than just your body isn't perfect or the ideal for her. So I just wanted to put that out there because that might be another thing that's included in all this. One thing Steph mentioned while she was talking about the possible reasons why she might be feeling this current lack of attraction towards you was the certain events and feelings directed around like the time earlier in that video where you had the camera and you were pointing at Diane's breasts. To her, that could convey a certain amount of immaturity or lack of respect. There's probably other things there that would be worth looking into. And, well, again, all these different tides of emotion, I'll say, are just current states that someone is in. So what I would do if I was ever confronted with that, and I have before with girlfriends, I've done something perhaps that was, in her eyes, causes her to feel less attraction, is I go, okay, that's something you're currently feeling. I obviously don't want them to be in that state because I'd rather them be deeply attracted to me. So what I would do, without again having the intention of having it affect me, it doesn't affect me because it's just them in a current state and I'm able to guide them into a better state. So one way of doing that is to just discuss that openly and discuss the reasons for it and even admit, okay, yeah, I was being immature, or yeah, I can see why you wouldn't appreciate that, but that's just something about me that I do from time to time. Sometimes I'm silly. If you don't get that kind of humor, that's fine. So you just have to kind of work it out. And again, the underlying thing I see in this whole dynamic is perhaps you might benefit from, I don't know if you've read it or not, but there's a great book out there by David Data called The Way of the Superior Man. There's a lot of great work out there talking about shifting one's internal game, so to speak, to be more attractive to what it is you're interested in. So if you're interested in femininity, you have to become the polar opposite in yourself. And this isn't about suppressing anything or trying to outwardly change something. It's about shifting yourself on the internal, so you become a different person. You have a different personality. You become a different way of being in the world than what you were previously. And that becomes attractive to what it is you seek in a significant other. So in the comments below, I want to hear from all of you watching this what you thought of this. Perhaps it might stimulate some ongoing conversation with the RawBrahs. Been a long time fan, been watching you guys since back before you were eating meat. Had some words of exchange on my other channel, Secrets of Longevity, at one point or another. And ever since you've come to your senses around some of those topics around food, I've been a big fan. So I wish you guys the best. Happy Halloween down there in Peru. Happy Halloween to all of you out there in North America and around the world who do happen to celebrate that at this time of year. I can hear people outside right now. It's getting dark. So this video might be up actually by tomorrow morning. but regardless, have a great first steps into the new year, at least the pagan new year that Samhain represents.